You are now listening to For All Nerds Show, a podcast about geek and pop culture from the perspective of people of color. For All Nerds Show is a member of the Loudspeakers Network, where we always say rest in peace to our founder, Combat Jack.
For All Nerds is hosted by Tatiana King and DJ Benhameen.
For All Nerds Show is powered by our listeners. Everything we do, from our podcasts, live events, our website, are all independently funded. Please continue to support us through our Patreon page at patreon.com/forallnerds.
Welcome to the For All Nerds Show. And what's up, y'all, and welcome to another episode of the For All Nerds Show, the voice of the urban geek, the podcast where we discuss geek and pop culture from the perspective of people of color. And as always, back in the captain's chair, once again, it's your boy DJ Benhameen, aka Lando Californication, Chewbacca Khan, the Riz Skywalker, Jedi Master De La Soul, Han Dolo, Kylo Bent, here in the spaceship tonight. And as always, I'm joined by
Tatiana King, the Grand Duchess of Tech, also known as the Lord of Lightsabers. Lambo Calrissian, Gin and Juice Urso, Gucci Mandalorian, Good Grief Karga, and Moesha Anasea. And if you don't know what that's referring to, please go listen to our review of episode 3 of The Acolyte, please.
I just realized that her last name was Anasea this week, and I was about to be like, Mama say, Mama say, Mama say. Oh, yeah, that's right, folks. We are back to review, recap, react to the 4th episode of, as I like to call it, the Acolyte. I don't know if
Acolyte.
I'm pronouncing. It's
Acolyte. The C comes first.
Okay,
but
Acolyte.
I just gave it to, like I said, I just gave it to the Houston accent. So.
And the butcher of names. You know how I do. You know, if you're a long-term listener of For All Nerds, you know that I am the butcher of names, the Acolyte,
Sheesh.
I guess. You know, I don't know, whatever. We're back to review episode 4. If you've been listening, we reviewed the first 2 episodes, which we were both kind of about. And then, you know, the 3rd episode came around. Shout out to the YouTube commenters. I saw somebody talk about, oh, all y'all talking about in episode 1 and 2 is 3. So I guess I'll come back next week. And I'm like, well, maybe you should, because 1 and 2 were kind of underwhelming. And then
they were kind of mid.
Yeah. And then 3 came around, and we were like, okay. You know, the whole flashback episode, if you peeped last week, I mean, hopefully you did. You know, it's a flashback episode. Moesha was introduced. And you know it did its thing overall.
That's and for those still don't realize, Moesha is May and Osha after they've done their fusion dance.
Yes. You know, I had to break down that clip on Twitter because our comedy stylings were incredible. Like there was a Wonder Twins reference, and then you made a DBZ reference, and then we flipped it. And when I'm cracking up laughing, I already knew you was going to go to Moesha from Mosha. I already felt it, you know, the vibes coming.
You felt the force. You felt the disturbance in the force.
I already knew Moesha was coming. As soon as you said Mosha, that's why if you watch the video, I'm already falling out. Because I already knew Moesha was coming.
It was just right there. Know, it was too easy.
And then I come back with the Ray J reference. And this is all in like 20 seconds, folks. Unscripted, just off the dome. This shit is legit classic material you're watching right here, folks. This ain't just content. This is art. You know what I mean?
It is art. So, it is art. We love to do it.
Basically.
So yes, to your point, mid first 2 episodes, the 3rd episode is where it hit for me. We connected. Yep. Well, I think we both did, but that was when I was like, okay, we got something solid.
Yeah.
And now episode 4, this is the last of the episodes that we got ahead of time, guys. So what were your thoughts? Now, you did say last week, about how you were nervous about the direction that the show would go in. You said you hoped it wouldn't do this, but a lot of Star Wars properties do this, that they lean back on familiar ground and the shit that they've done before. Like, especially like there's rarities, you know, like Andor, but like where they seem to be going and trying to do something new and then they just backslide. So Benhameen, episode 4.
Like we said, episode 3 was on that upswing. I have to say episode 4, was back to form, fam.
Damn.
And it's wild because I've seen critics out there loving this show, and then I saw Forbes say, F what everybody's saying, this show is mediocre. And I don't say it's mediocre.
Well, first of all, what is Forbes doing talking about this? But
Forbes talks about everything these days,
which is weird, but stay in lane.
I know, but that's all. There are no lanes anymore. You know what I mean? Everybody is dipping
Forbes,
in anything.
I don't want to hear shit from a wealth. We'll talk about that later. But anyway,
I saw Joe Budden talking about X-Men '97. It's like he's
a person, media personality that can technically talk about anything and has
flipping them did
and has interest. That's fine. I'm talking about fucking Forbes. I don't care about that. But anyway,
true indeed. Well, they called it mediocre. I would not call this show mediocre.
That's weird. It's not mediocre, but okay.
No, it's not mediocre. But this episode, I was worried about certain things, and I felt like this episode started them already. Well, we're already only in episode 4, and Osha's change of heart in this. Is it Osha? Right? I got that one right.
Yeah, the evil twin.
The evil twins.
The good son, yes.
The good son's change of heart in this episode felt so unearned. And all right, back to this, like, there's supposed to be this whole mystery of like, and we talked about that last week. Who really killed the witches? Because they just got taken out, right?
Yeah, the fire did not kill the witches because, first of all, you saw a little rumble and crumble around them when they was laying out, like, doing the death pose. But something happened to the witches before anything else with the fire. That shit wasn't even there.
That's what we're hoping. Because, like, Osha seems so confused, right? Like, she knows what happened. Either she knows that she killed the witches, or she knows she didn't kill the witches. But she's out hunting the Jedi like she didn't kill the witches.
She's hunting the Jedi saying, y'all are responsible for the death of my parents and my family. And I'm just like, but wait a minute. Like, and then, which one is it?
Yeah. Is it Uchi Wale or One Might? But then in this episode, she flips it and it's like halfway through the episode, it's suddenly really kind of, I didn't feel like it was earned. It's suddenly like, hey, I don't have to do this. I don't have to be on this revenge tour anymore. I can just, go be with my twin because she's alive. Fuck it. But why would you go on the revenge tour if there's a chance your twin is alive in the first place?
But she didn't think I don't think she thought that there was a chance.
Nigga, you fell down the pit and
that's
survived.
Another thing. That's the question I was gonna raise. I don't think she knew whether her twin was alive, but I'm like, wait a minute, nigga, you're the one who basically had a false death. Yes. So like I call it a trapdoor death, right? Where it's like you didn't really die, but we seen you fall. Yes. You're the one who people think is gone. So what's going on now? That could lead to a further mystery. Maybe something happened with her mind. There's some mind wipe situation, and
the master.
She was told something else than what we see. And that's also been the tenets of this show that they had been pushing since the beginning. There was like, even Master Soul says it when he's talking to the younglings. He's like, don't trust your eyes. Don't trust the things you see. Like that has been part of the thread that they've been building for this show thus far. So I can understand later if they're like, oh, but it also feels very, like, to your point, a bit unearned. And it also feels like a cop-out, like, oh, she just didn't know about none of this because she was mind wiped and da 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 da. And I'm like, okay. Yeah. Like, I don't believe you. I don't know. You need more people.
And especially if they do that, like, suddenly, like, we get a flashback where the master is mind wiping her. It's like, oh, you should have shown that before. I kind of feel something, like, because right now her motivations are so strange. Because, like we said, she's on this revenge tour and then she's not, pretty much, in this episode.
Here's a different question for you.
Okay. So then I want to get to my real.
Is some of this also sentiment based on the fact that you're not really in love with, and not to say you have to be in love with these characters, but I don't know if you really like Osha as a character.
I'm not really convinced of Osha as a character because I don't understand Osha's motivations.
Right.
And it's the same way in this episode I question May's motivations, right? May has a moment where she's talking to Jedi Master Soul, and he's like, I want you to come on this mission with me. And she brightens up talking about, you want me back in the Jedi Order?
But you could tell that, but see, when she was watching the younglings doing a judo practice, you could tell she was just like, damn, I want that life again. I want that life back. I'm tired of being little, grease monkey on the outside of ships.
Yeah.
I want to be out there. I
Yeah.
want to be where the people are. You know what I'm saying? Like she want to be up there. I get it. You know what I'm saying? Remember, I told you she's been on her aerial shit since she was a little
been on her
girl.
aerial shit. And keep fucking, you're right, because she had the best shit. You know, she had a bunch of women down with her and they had powers. She could have found a way to see the galaxy.
Witch.
I really don't understand that. You know, like,
I
she
don't
could
want
have
to be
found
a
way.
princess that can
Yeah.
that has command of the 7 seas.
Nope.
I don't want it.
So, you know, she brightens up and is like, yeah, I want to be a Jedi again. And he's like, nah, not really. And it's like, what? Why would you want to be a Jedi again? You left off your own will. It wasn't like anything, as far as we know, terrible shit was happening. Nothing. It was just like,
that's
you
an
were just
important
out.
point. That's an important point, Ben. We don't know what exactly was it. Like, did you just drop out? Like, you was like, I'm tired of this college course. Here's the withdrawal. Or was there something of substance that made you go, you know what? This isn't for me. I don't like it's not explained. And I don't think that's a part of mystery. To me, that's nothing to do with mystery. That's like, can you give me, you're missing a foundational block for me. Like, for me to understand these characters. And that's why I said, and let me correct what I said earlier about loving the character. Just understanding the character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't have to love them.
You don't have to like anybody, but do you understand? Do you understand, to your point, the motivations, whether the character is the antagonist, protagonist, whatever, good quote, bad quote, what do you get? Like, case in point, my favorite Lex Luthor. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. That nigga is Kendrick. He hate that nigga Clark Superman. Fine. But you get why. They make it very clear through story and experience why. I don't see the why here yet.
Yeah. You know, I don't ever agree with Lex because he really believes that Superman is holding back humanity.
Right.
And like,
and you don't have to agree, but you understand.
And like Superman says that you could have helped humanity all the time I was here. You just wanted to fuck with me.
Right.
So, yeah.
Jealous, bitch. But yeah, so I just wanted to ask that before you went into
hair like mine.
Before you went into, I wanted to ask that question about, did you even understand the character to really, and is this now affecting like how you even viewing this story?
Yeah, because I'm not understanding these niggas. May or Osha are both making choices where I'm like, word, fam, like for reals. And then it's getting back into that goofy, Disney,
goofy.
Star Wars. And I don't want to blame Disney because a lot of cats out there be like, oh, this is Disney's fault. And Star Wars has always been fucking super uber goofy.
It's been
mixed in with bits of darkness, you know?
Yeah.
But it has a lot of goofiness. And like when she's like, I'm sensing my, her out there again. I'm starting, like she's feeling the connection to the Force again. And it's like, what? Shorty, you were late to training.
It's because...
And then you ain't trained.
Now they're on the planet Pandora, and now you can feel the earth around you. Yeah. Like I'm like, since when? And again, it just feels more of that unearned or unrecognized thing. Like, where is that foundational block that would have made me understand? Now, you can, sure, as a viewer, you can just try to fill in the gaps yourself. It's not hard to make the mental connections, but it's just like, it still feels like almost a stretch. Like, so what triggered this to happen? Just because maybe you're closer to your sister, you're physically closer, so then your powers combine, Captain Planet? Like, I don't understand. So I just would like to know. And I know some people will listen to this and be like, you guys are nitpicking. I can understand that too. But I would then implore you to explain to me, how is this happening? I would ask anybody. And if no one could give me like a very clear, straight answer, well, you got to go back to chapter 55 of, the old, like, I don't need that. I want the story of the Acolyte. I want the story of May and Osha and all these people and how this comes about. I don't want to know about who did what 200 years ago. And like, that's not what I'm here for. And that's what I mean when I'm just like, there's something missing or misunderstood here. And maybe it'll be revealed, but if it be revealed later, I'm like, well, that was kind of backwards.
Yeah. And I'm like, do we have to have another flashback episode for this series to make sense? Is that what's going to happen? Are we going to have another flashback showing why, young May leaves and why Osha gets corrupted?
I would love to know what happened with her with the Jedi, because there's literally been no explanation made about why she just stopped training. It was like she stopped. For what reason? Why? She just stopped. She just wasn't fucking with it no more. I'm like, okay, girl.
And it seems like that's something that the Jedi just wouldn't allow, kind of,
Yeah,
or
I
at
thought
least
like
would,
I didn't even know you could drop out like that.
or at least keep more tabs on you afterwards, because it's like you have power. You're definitely not even a weak little Jedi. You know, you come from a line of power, and we're just gonna let you ride. Like,
I don't
that
know, bro.
feels dangerous. Because we didn't let you ride as a kid. We came and
feels
scooped
like
you up.
it feels like a bit of an oversight, but
Yeah.
um,
And I mean, that
yeah,
is typical of the Jedi being trifling. And so there is that. So I could see that being the case. But
maybe.
I would like some, just a little bit more explanation there. And for those who say that we are nitpicking, now, you want to nitpick, there's just my one other note before my major thing I want to talk about. My one other note was, at one point, Osha calls them Jedi scum. And it's like, Jesus Christ. It's
It
just like
sounded
when
forced.
it's because you've heard it in every Star Wars series ever. It's always Jedi scum. Just like in the earlier episode when what's his name, with Yord with the weird dreads, is like, I have a bad feeling about this.
He has the Killmonger dreads first.
And he does have his Killmonger got better.
Cut. Yeah.
Yeah, and Yord says, I had a bad feeling about this, which is another line that has been
Yeah.
in every Star Wars thing ever. And to me, it's like, come on, fam.
Like,
you
y'all
don't
could do
need
better.
to do these things.
Yeah.
I have a bad feeling about this is one, but Jedi scum, like, why would it's like, is that just the Sith just called them scum every time?
But see, the thing is, I also didn't know, because the way the character said it also sounded unsure. Like she was just trying to amp up Kamir. Like,
Yeah.
oh, Kamir, I'm down with the cause, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I
True.
thought. I thought that was purposeful.
So maybe
of
it
her.
is just a phrase that it's a phrase that pays. And, it's like, Hail Hydra.
It might be like a Hail Hydra. It might be a niggas die every day be. Just something, just a throwaway line that you just say to express what's going on in the moment. But also, to your point, I still think they're relying on it. Case in point, yes, Star Wars has always had like a goofy side to it from the beginning.
Mhm.
But I felt this episode directionally backslid, because I felt like the whole thing felt like a PowerPoint. There was the fucking wipe from the right from the left, dissolve from the bottom, circle. Like, I just, I was just like, nigga, how many of these scene change effects are we like? Every other scene was doing that. Now, when used sparingly or used for a particular effect or context, I get it, because they've been using it throughout the show.
Yeah.
But this episode just felt particularly egregious for me. I was just like, guys, I get it. Y'all are part of the Star Wars universe. Let the story speak for itself. I don't need the catchphrases. I don't need the wipes, the crawl. Like, I get it. Like, y'all did that setup this, and to your point, you said maybe they did that in the beginning to make sure people knew this was Star Wars. Heard. Fine. Do that in the beginning and give me something else.
Yeah. I'd have to rewatch Andor to see how many of those times they did it. I remember them doing it, but
I'm sure they do, and maybe they just do it everywhere.
Sparingly. I feel like
this was egregious in this episode.
Because it's not something, Andor just, feels, it doesn't feel like this, where it doesn't have that feeling of Star Wars. This is a Star Wars show.
And the reason I'm harping on that is because of that point. Like, I want the story can be strong, and I want them to rely on story. And maybe that's hard because you have such a hard fandom to please, and you have a hard corporate overlord to appease. And it's just like, yo, I have to, even though I'm trying to tell a new story, I still got to stay within certain guardrails. That's the case. I get it. It's also like, damn, really?
Yeah. But once again, I hate to keep bringing up Andor. It's like, well, Andor showed that you don't have to exactly do that. You can tell really good stories that don't have even a lightsaber in them. Not one lightsaber.
Not one, yep.
Something that people are like, this ain't Star Wars without, and I've heard people call Andor not Star Wars.
Because there's no lightsabers? Guys.
Yeah.
There were other characters that were not Jedi that did not wield lightsabers. They made it very clear.
And it's called Star Wars. And Andor is about the war in the stars. Like, this is what it's about. So, I don't know. But this, some good things that I really did like about this episode. I thought the jungle was really beautiful. I loved all the shots of Manny and Amanda walking through the things and everything. It looked, really dope.
Yeah. You fucked with Kelnaka caught the bad one, but was living the life for a little bit.
Actually, I can't say he was. home was a hovel.
Well, first of all, that wasn't a hovel to him. He chose that place. That's one thing y'all gotta understand. These Jedi are choosing their path. The other nigga who chose to be silent for 10 years and be a bitch, he didn't have to do it. He chose that life and just sitting there floating on the fucking invisible pedestal. Kelnaka is a Chewbacca, not a Chewbacca, is a Wookiee, and chose to be on Pandora, okay?
I have to say that he's right up there. He's one level below bitch of the other nigga who was floating. Like,
he's hiding out.
Yeah, hiding out. Like, all right, now see, in this case, I do blame the Jedi, and I do feel OSHA. Because these niggas both did some, but again, they did some shit that I don't understand why they did it. Because, like, if they thought that somebody else killed these witches, then they would be out looking for them, right? And if they didn't think if they were like, yo, I killed these witches, both of these niggas turned bitch instead of just fessing up to it. Nobody wants to fess up.
It gave me Thanos cooking plantains on that farm planet where they just like, I did what I needed to do, and I'm just gonna go bide my time. That's how I felt what Kelnaka was doing. I was just like, okay, the difference no responsibility
here is it gives me Sailor Moon when my man throws the cloak. You know,
my job is done here. Tuxedo mask.
Because you didn't do anything. You know?
I just. No accountability. And yes, that's par for the course for the Jedi as well. The lack of accountability. Yeah. So it's just like, well, I fucked up and did a bad thing. I'm going to go to the spa planet. And
so that's why it's like, why would May want to get back down with these hoe ass niggas? You know?
But she always had to me, and that's what I'm saying. I think that's just, maybe she never grew up from that. Just the fact that as a child, that wonder of something different and something beyond the witches and this planet and the Ariel, the Little Mermaid effect. I think that's just never truly left her.
God damn, boy. What a sucker.
And then for her to be in proximity to them, you know, her love of soul in the past is continuing to be riled back up. And then she sees the younglings, Jackie Lan, she see Jackie moving, doing her Tai Chi, and she's like, you know, that shit look fire though. You know, I could use a lightsaber. Like, that grass is greener on the other side mentality. But I feel like she has that every single day. And I don't know. Yeah. She has a lower, and that's why I'm like, maybe she hasn't really grown out of that. She still has, and her sister as well. They still have a lot of growing up to do.
Well, we only got 4 more episodes, so they better start growing because there was no growth in this episode. That was my thing. It felt like nothing really moved other than, you know, we set up to, you know, get to that ending.
Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that setup. Like,
all right, but before we get to that, I do because one last thing I want to big up is Daphne Keene, as always, is doing great work as Jackie Lan. Yeah, I mean, that's all I can say. I love her. You know, she makes every scene she's in better. I think she's killing it.
I fuck with Lee Jung Jae too. You know, Grandmaster Jedi. Grandmaster Jedi, I was going to call him. You know, he is the prototypical Jedi.
Prototypical. An idiot.
So they have this weird, like, almost alien-inspired trek through, and I keep calling the planet Pandora. It's actually, what's the name of the damn planet that they on right now?
Who knows? Coron something.
It starts with a T.
Oh, shit.
I wanted to call it Thanos. But the point is, they in the Amazon, and you know, there's animals and shit flying, and just a random giant moth comes to try to bite them, and you know, it's just like a bunch of randomness that I don't think has anything to do with story, right?
No.
Like, especially I thought it was kind of funny when someone was like, "Get behind me, I got this," and it was just like and it reminded me of the first fight. It was like very disappointing. It was just like it flew at him, then he said, "Bump," and then it was over, and then they moved on, and then we got, you know, white from the right, and I was just like, what was the point of that?
Yeah, like, what was the point of that scene? Like, we know Soul's nice.
He nice with it.
It makes May seem dumber. I mean, sorry, like, but it does.
When she was touching the things, I'm like, bitch, that's an egg or an animal. Why would you do
these
that?
trees with all this shit, but nigga, what? I'm not touching nothing.
Nothing. You on a plane you never been on, number one.
It could just poison you instantly. You know, death. But what do you know? Nothing.
So they go on a nature hike. They almost get to Kelnaka, but and of course, and actually, what's the face makes it there first. not Osha, but what's her name? May makes it there first.
No,
and then-
Osha. You had it right.
Sorry. No. Osha is the good one. May.
Wait, we had
is-
it backwards earlier then.
No, we didn't.
I said it wrong then.
Sorry, maybe I did say it wrong.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
because Homegirl's always looking for Osha. Osha's the good one. Osha's the one that's hanging out with Soul. Osha's
We
the
had
one
it
that's hanging out
backwards,
with Soul. May
Yeah.
is the one, right? Yeah.
Oh,
This is
no
so
anymore.
confusing. Anyways, the bad twin makes it there and sees that, Kilnaka got killed. And that's obviously the setup, right? Like to make it like, oh, you're always gonna have to, because remember, she was already sowing doubt with Kamir. She was just like, oh, asking all these fucking questions. How is my sister? What's my sister like? What she talked to you about? Then, her, as you mentioned, her tricking him and saying, I ain't gotta do this shit no more, stringing him up. And I think what you said the other day, which was like your prediction of who you think this master is.
Yes.
There's nobody else it could be at this point.
Oh, no.
It's Kamir.
And I was just seeing on the internet that people are, making that. All right, folks. Like we said, if you haven't watched this now, we're deep into the review, and I did not want to really go that hard on this last week because I'd already figured it out by the third episode. I had heavy hints by the second episode, but I was trying to let people live and, not spoil it. And now I feel like I'm already been scooped. But this nigga's the fucking master, dog. Kamir is the master.
There's nobody else it could be.
It's no one else it could be. It's so painfully obvious in this episode that I can't believe people are still saying it's a theory because it's just shoved down your throat in this episode. Hey, yo, that it's, Kamir. Kamir earlier says he doesn't know, the master owns him. You know how he does. He just owns people. We owe him things, blah, blah. He deflects on how he ever knows him. They get into the woods. When she starts talking about how she wants to flip and, have a change of heart, he's like, that once again, he adopts that other voice that I talked about before where he's like, he'll kill you, real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And then he specifically says, no one can get through this stuff, without a guide. Your only way to get here is with a guide, blah, 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 blah. And then she's like, yo, there's no way he can get through to me. I'll tie Kamir up and bounce. And gets to Kilnaka dead up, Jedi cut, lightsaber to the chest. And then the master rolls up.
And also, just for clarity's sake, May is the assassin sister. Osha is a sister that's with what's her face, Soul and them. But so obviously May is being played. We know this.
Yes.
May's being used, and even I've been calling her Nebula, the Green Nebula, part of the Jedi Order. She was just like, there's a larger situation at work, which is also the ongoing theme and story of damn near every Star Wars,
yes,
story and film. There's
Phantom Menace.
She's a smaller piece of the greater puzzle, or she's the first ball to get rolling of a bigger plan. The other reason why I was just like, who the fuck else could it be but Kamir is because of what you explained to me. You reminded me of rather about storytelling, right? Like at least good storytelling anyway, that it can't just be some random that we've never met before.
No, it can't be. It has to be someone you've already been introduced to. That's how mysteries work. It's someone like in any murder mystery, the suspects, by the time someone's murdered, you've already met all the suspects. Because it can't be someone new, or you meet the suspects right after they're murdered, whatever. But you can't start trying to figure out who it is, and then suddenly there's a new person, and it's like, oh, it's this dude at the end. When you're trying to figure out, and then the detective's like, it's none of these people, it's somebody else. What? That doesn't matter. It's like, why were you telling me this story then? Why didn't you include that person in it? So It had to be someone that we knew already. So that was my big suspect, because like we said, there's not many characters. So I'm like, it has to be someone we know. And Kamir started acting funny to me in episode 2 when he was so willing to kill, when he talks about how all the Jedi have a weakness, his hatred of the Jedi when he starts talking about how they think they found peace and all this stuff. That's what they're all searching for, blah, blah, blah. So that was another big tip-off. Then the third tip-off was when he knew where Kilnaka was, and he's like, I can get to him easy, no problem. And Kilnaka's a Jedi who's been hidden from everyone. And then he talks about, I got close enough to know where he's at, and Kilnaka didn't know who he was.
I love your pronunciation, by the way. You call him Kilnaka. That's on some Killmonger, Kilnaka. type shit.
Whatever. I don't give a fuck about this nigga, obviously, because my man gets served like a sucker. And then the last one, like I said, is she leaves him tied up, and then suddenly the master shows up at the end. It was just
like Voldemort.
Yeah, I will say he definitely was terrifying. I've watched the episode a couple times now. Every time he shows up, he's scary. You know that move how he pulls the lightsaber up and flies Osha off.
I did perk up when he yeeted all of them at once. I said, "Oh,
yes,
something's happening." And then what happened? The wipe. Episode over. I was like,
episode over. Yeah.
But again, I'm still very upset how they nerf. Like, don't tell me these are all powerful, like Master Jedi, and then they get got by like half the time they say May. Like this episode, they spent a great deal of the episode talking about how May is trained, but she ain't all that. Not May. May. May is trained, but she ain't all that. Like she leads with her emotions and da. She's strong, but she ain't got it all the way. But I'm like, but she served 2 of y'all already. Technically easily. So, and in my head, I'm like, easily, because I'm like, ain't no way, like, if y'all at least, maybe y'all not on Soul's level, but if y'all supposed to be at least on Soul's level, why is, like, things happening like this? So, like,
no, they're Jedi Masters. They're on Soul's level. They are all Jedi Masters. They are supposed to be nice. They're not even Jedi Knights. They are Jedi Masters. It's another level of it.
I don't see it. No. I don't see it. Like, and again, I don't know if this is just scripted nerfing or what, but I don't like it.
Now, the crew with Soul are not all Jedi Masters. Soul's a master. The rest of them is Knights and Padawans.
They scrubs. I get
Killmonger is a Knight, and the rest are Padawans.
They all scrubs comparatively, and that's fine. But that makes sense to me because they made that very clear. But don't tell me, and then don't show me some mid stuff happening and like dirty trick type fighting that they fall for. I'm like, and that's why I keep questioning. It's like, yo, is the Jedi stupid or are they like, which one is it? It's like, are they stupid or are they nice?
Well, the thing is, what's his name? The Master is a Sith Lord of some sort. So he is supposed to be dumb powerful as well.
That's fine. They made that clear he was dumb powerful. I'm talking about how the fuck did May get that going?
I mean, we already...
Ain't no way in my head.
Yeah, we've already discussed how to May get this. But then that's, again, it's the ineptitude of the Jedi. Like you said, the Gamora, the Jedi is over here. They're all, like, we talked about this, how they're all like, oh, who could this be? Like, nobody could threaten us. Oh, my God.
And that's funny you said Gamora. Yes, she's green like Gamora, but I call her Nebula because she talks like Nebula. She did that stuttered, hey, guys.
She's nowhere near as cool as Nebula. No. Don't ever compare her to my lady. To my love.
We must alert the council.
Yeah. No. See, that's Nebula. Yeah. This girl talk like,
She don't talk like a slack-jawed yokel. She don't talk like that, bro.
They all sound like slack-jawed yokels at that council, boy.
I just, again, I don't know if it's just this is convenient storytelling or what, but this is like a Marvel problem about the power sets. Like, sometimes you want them to be all powerful, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you want them to be seasoned and well-versed, and sometimes it's like, oh, look to the left, what's over there? Wow. Like, I'm just like, come on. Like, it doesn't make sense. So, I don't know. Like, so fuck them up. Like, I don't know. But, yes, that being said, the master, the Sith Lord or whatever he's supposed to be, that man got it. He got it. And to what we said, that it brought me to attention, like, whoa, okay, now we getting something that matters, because all that other shit, a lot of shit that happened in this episode didn't fucking matter. So
not at all,
because it wasn't explained why people were feeling this way. Besides saying, and again, May did say this changes everything. My sister's alive, but we were like, well, why did you think she was dead? You was the one that went to the negative zone. So the negative zone.
And then when you see her alive, why don't you have that realization then?
When y'all was on,
why did it take you mad time? Like, why did you just suddenly, why did you go on this mission to kill this nigga when you could have just been like,
she said that she felt forced. But to your point, you saw your sister before you went to Pandora Planet.
Yeah.
Convenient storytelling. I don't know.
So the story could happen. Shout out to pitch meeting. on that
Love
one.
Pitch
'Cause,
Media.
yeah, that's a famous one. So the story could happen because that's what's happening right here.
So what do we expect going forward then, Ben?
I don't know, man. Like, I feel like we're gonna get another flashback episode that's gonna be like, wow,
We
the show's
have to
good
have
again.
one.
Yeah,
Because you gotta explain this shit, bro.
yeah, and then I'm gonna have more. And what I'm really hoping that doesn't happen, but I feel like it is we're gonna have a flashback episode next week instead of having the fight that we want to see. And then we'll have.
They're gonna make us wait for the rest of the fight.
Yeah, wait for the fight
with the master.
Yeah, with the master, and then episode 6 we'll have him slaughter most of them Jedi at the beginning of it, and we'll be like, "Oh, the show's dope again." And then by 8, their powers will combine, and everything will be good. And I'll want to throw my TV off the wall.
I feel like my sentiments for these first 4 episodes have been very EKG, like down, up, like very just kind of,
Yeah.
it hasn't been consistent yet. Like
It stayed mid. It's consistently mid.
Not episode 3.
No,
me.
but average.
Mm.
Because this episode was bad. Like,
You think this episode was bad? Episode 4.
I didn't think it was good. I you know me, I hate calling things bad, but oof. It was like I couldn't get over how the obvious it's the master thing. That was, or maybe just obvious to me. And like I said, if y'all been listening to every review, I'm not good at murder mysteries and shit like that. I can't think of a murder mystery movie I've ever watched where I was like, oh, that's the killer. I don't have that type of brain where I think of things like that. But this one was like, God damn, this is the master. There's no other way.
But what if it's not? And it's like
Nigga, please.
Kamira's evil twin. I'm just anything's possible right now.
That's what happens if it's
Who
Kamira's
else
evil twin.
have we been introduced
My
to?
job is done here.
Besides the random like rodents and robots, who else have
We didn't talk about the rodent. We didn't talk about Bazil.
What was the point? Like, this is what I don't. This is what I find.
Of Bazil from Austin Powers.
This is what I find corny. And again, this is just me personally. A corny thing about Star Wars is that the introduction of these animals and people animals that it's like, are you trying to make them cute? Are you not trying to make them cute? Like,
they're trying to make them cute.
And I'm just like, but isn't that the grown ass man that's trying to help y'all sniff out? That's what I mean. It's just like I don't.
This nigga's a fool.
OSHA calling him an it.
This
And I'm just like, damn, oh, that nigga got a name, and that's why even Yord, I almost call him Yondu. Fucking Yondu Jr. is like, his name is Bazil. Like he was upset.
Yeah, and then he's like, I took the time to learn his language. Most people just learn Wookiee, but
like, yeah, nigga, get the fuck out of here. Don't nobody care about that.
Nobody care, Yord. You about to get stabbed up by you should have learned better lightsaber fighting because you about to get knocked off.
So you got Bazil. Bazil's not the master. So I'm just like, who else? half the Jedi that were being hunted
Where is
are
Bazil
dead.
at the very end? Because he got screamed
He's
on.
screaming. The nigga is screaming like a smoke alarm and just standing there screaming. They never go back to him. He's just standing in the middle of the forest screaming at the top of his
Hopefully the master
lungs.
cut him down on his way in.
No,
that's
and
what
he's a little rat type nigga. So he's fine. He's an animal.
The
He's
master
fine.
could have just floated by and zoink, one quick.
Why do you want them to get off him?
Because that cute shit needs to go. Like, fuck all that. You know what I mean? That would flip it. Like, right? They never kill one of them little cute niggas like that.
But they treated the nigga with a name like a dog. Go here, sniff this. All right, go find May.
Nigga said I need a tracker to keep up with my tracker. Like this fucking terrible ass nigga.
So we know Bazil. We know all these random robots. Pip, annoying little Pip, and
the master.
But the reason I'm naming these other randoms, who else have we met? Who else has been on screen that has had a name besides in the cantina all the random robots
that chunky
and
Jedi
aliens
nigga
in there
on the planet they left, and that ain't the master. Cause that nigga super slim.
Yeah, the master's skinty.
Yeah.
So is it Nebula / like
Nope.
/ Gamora Jr.?
No, I mean, they're deep in the forest. They can't get there without a guide. There's only one other person in the forest. That's what I mean. It's like, come on, fam.
Because I'm also seeing online like people saying, and maybe this is before they're watching episode 4. They're like, nah, like that's obvious that it's Khmer because it's like, no, he can't be Acolyte. But I'm like, well, what if it is just that? What if it is obvious and it is the truth?
Yeah, it is that. That like I didn't want to be the one last week, to really be like, look, dog, Khamir's the master. But I should have.
But now you sure.
Yeah, no, I was sure last week, but I just didn't want, because I knew it was like, I didn't want to spoil it, I guess, for people. But I should have said it then so people could be like, oh, Ben always be calling these things, because that was one where I fucking knew it, dog. I was sure. By episode 2, I was leaning hard.
Damn.
But episode 3, when he's like, I know where to find dude. I'm like, nigga, because you're the master.
I know where he stay at. Oh, you know,
that's not even episode 3. That's episode 2. That's what I'm saying. By the end of episode 2, when he's like, yo, I know where to find him, I knew he was it.
It reminds me of those skits where someone walks in the store and they're like, I need to speak to the manager. And the person goes, bet. Goes in the back room, comes back, and it's the same person with a hat on.
Yeah. You want to come out?
I need to speak to your manager. One moment.
Yo, Pierre, you want to come out here?
Right. Yo, I don't know. But listen, we gotta start predicting what's happening, man, going forward. I know we kept saying we don't know, but
goofiness. I already said
things have to get solved, man.
Our powers
in 4 more
episodes.
In 4 more episodes. Is Soul catching the bad one, or is he gonna make it to the end?
I don't know. That's debatable.
Looking kind of tight. You don't know.
I'm putting money on your getting taken out.
Oh,
yeah,
he's the sympathetic character,
and he's too pretty boy, and he's been talking too much shit, so he done.
I hope they keep Jackie alive. Please leave Jackie.
Jackie gonna no, yeah, you're right. Soul done. Niggas never, the masters never make it. It's always your Padawan makes it, so Soul done.
So
he might not be done right now. Yor gets done up in this first fight.
Damn.
Yeah, or maybe Soul gets done. One of those two gets done. But
Yor is like. Gives me junior master vibes.
That's what I'm saying.
Just got his first report type.
Yeah,
shit.
he's a knight now. He definitely told her. He just made knight from Padawan to knight, and then I think it's master. So he's one of those two is done in this fight. One of the two. I put money on it. Charles Barkley, guarantee.
I'm trying. So wait, who did the master yeet? It was like 4 of them on screen at the master.
Yeah, all of them niggas. It's like 6 or 7 Jedi.
First he flicked Osha off to the side, but then when the line of Jedi came at him, he yeeted all of them. And it was Yord, Soul, Jackie, and who was the other one?
Some randos who were dead. That's what I mean. Like,
not randos who dead. Was the other one Bazil? Or like I'm just trying to remember who was in that lineup.
Basil's still screaming, or he's dead.
Basil's still, several miles away screaming. No,
it is. Them niggas is red shirts. I'm not counting them. I don't know who of them niggas are gonna die.
Red shirts. God.
Yeah, they gonna get murked. The survivor will be Jackie, and then either Soul and I'm putting money on Yor because there's still more episodes. So Yor getting taken out. But then it could be the flip. That could be their flip and Soul gets taken out.
Because I'm actually looking at this scene again just to like remember, and there's actually. Like you said, you call them red shirts, right?
That's there's a bunch of niggas there.
I forgot that there was a bunch of randoms.
Oh, yeah, there's a bunch of them niggas. They getting taken out.
I did like the way the master looked like that.
Hell yeah.
Helmet and looked like a Joker type smile.
Yeah.
Like it's just a carve out or cut out into the helmet.
Yeah.
That's
I think that's part of the helmet. That smile is all part of it. That's all part of it. Okay. And before I was talking to Tatiana about this off air. We always have what we call the basic bitch costume of the year that people overdo at all the cons that we go to.
Usually it's like Deadpool or whomever.
What's my man from Walking Dead? Negan from Walking Dead is a classic basic
It was Mando. It's like a bunch of Mandos years ago.
I gotta give that one. That at least takes a little credit, but it was a fucking lot of Mandos. It takes a little bit more work, but it was a lot of them. Yeah. Wolverine, Logan especially, another one. And this year, this master is going to be a basic bitch costume for Star Wars people especially, because it's a definitely scary costume. People love to actually, be intimidating when they ain't. So there's gonna be mad people.
But there's certain cosplayers will make it really look good. I will give them that.
No, this shit's gonna be fire. They're gonna work this. Yeah. I see a lot of mashups with this costume. I see the Joker mashup coming already.
Mm-hmm.
Heavy. I see things like that, which is to be corny. But anyway, I think that's about it for our review of episode 4 of the Acolyte. The Acolyte, which ain't acting right. We will be back. We just like y'all now. We are in uncharted territory. We have not seen any of the last 4 episodes. We will be watching them in real time with y'all. So the reviews might be coming a little later in the week. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, we'll be back. Who knows? Hopefully, still 4 episodes left. Still a lot of time left. Still we at halftime right now. The game can go either way.
EKG, bro. EKG.
Yeah, it's up and down. It ain't a blowout. It ain't a blowout. Where it's like, damn, this game sucks. It's more like this game could turn around. They could still get a win. You know what I mean? You could still get a win out of this. So we'll see.
A win is a win.
Yep.
Thank you, everyone, for listening, joining us. Please make sure you are subscribed to us on your favorite podcast platform, which is every podcast platform known to man. You can find For All Nerds, where you will be able to listen to all of our reviews, recaps, outtakes, everything you could think of. We cover many facets of fandom. You can also go to our YouTube, For All Nerds TV, so you can watch our beautiful melanated faces as well as especially when we have guests. It's really good and cool to see us interact with the guests that way. Make sure you are...
It's cool to see us, you know what I mean?
Of course. Make sure you are going to ForAllNerds.com so you can get your hands on some beautiful merch as for example, Gucci Mane DeLorean shirt. That fire shirt. Shout out to Sketch Sawyer. Benhameen also. That one's not available yet. That was an exclusive on the old site. That's Demon Days. Well, what did we call it?
Demon Time.
We call that the Demon Time shirt featuring the Spider-Verse characters. But you can get my shirt and more ForAllNerds.com. Be on the lookout too, because we're going to be having some sales soon. So you may be able to cop a couple more shirts for the low. Also, shout out to people who've already purchased. You're going to probably get some gifts as well. And by gifts, I mean you're gonna get some, you'll get a discount code or something like that. Something exclusive just for you because y'all was the first to purchase. Mm-hmm. Make sure you're also going to patreon.com/ForAllNerds. If you like what you hear, if you like what you see, you want to continue helping to support us because we are all independently owned, funded, Black run and owned. Please go there. Your contribution leads to the beauty you see here at For All Nerds, the brand. Make sure you are also following us all over socials. We are For All Nerds everywhere you can think of. He's DJ Benhameen. I'm Tatiana King. And last but not least, very important, I need you to big up yourself, DJ Benhameen, when it comes to your site, your book, all that stuff. Go.
Yes, right now you can go to bigdjenergy.com. That's bigdjenergy.com. That is my personal site where you can get my music that I've been producing, all the remixes, all the original productions that I've been dropping, including the $1 Million Baby Black Dance Energy Jersey Hype remix, which is blowing up everywhere. Thank you to everybody who's downloaded. Thank you to all the DJs who have been playing it out. Love to see it. If you do play it anywhere, give me a video. Shoot me the video at DJ Benhameen. Also at bigdjenergy.com. Not only do you get all this music, you can sign up and get free music as well. Leave your email and you get it free, just in case you can't afford things. It's on Bandcamp and all that for the low. But, just in case, just sign up, leave your email, you get it free. But while you're there, you can also pick up a pre-order of my first ever graphic novel, Jimi Hendrix, Purple Haze, soon to be in stores August 15th, but you can get a signed copy available from Anyone Comics. We're doing a big signing there, probably August 14th, the night it is released. Sorry, not the 15th, the 14th. Wednesday, August the 14th, it drops. Where they'll be doing a signing in Anyone Comics in Brooklyn, so you can come through and get your book personally signed, or you can order it from bigdjenergy.com. The link is in there to pre-order, and you can get a signed copy shipped to you pretty much anywhere. So go get it. Mm-hmm. It's coming up. We've been talking about this shit forever, and we are almost here. It's June something right now. What is it? What's today? June 8th. A little over 2 months and a week. Yep, a little over 2 months away, y'all. I'm really hyped. Gonna be at San Diego Comic-Con, so look for me there. We'll actually be
Mello.
Along with Mello Brown. My man Tom Mandrake is gonna be back in the house at New York Comic-Con, so we'll both be there. So, the rest of the year, once this drops, I'll be everywhere doing all kind of things. So look out. We'll be talking more about it every week. And thank you. Please make sure you pre-order. Go grab yourself a copy. I promise you it's so worth it. I wouldn't be saying this if I wasn't.
We've been talking about your book for 2 years.
I mean, I've been working on it.
For more.
I know, because we've been talking about it as long as I could talk about it. And I was working on it well before that.
I say that just so people understand when it comes to the creative process, when it comes to the films you watch, the TVs you watch, the books you read, this stuff is years in the making.
It's so and I've always known that because I've worked on films and stuff before and TV shows, obviously all these different things. And, I've seen how long it takes. I was thinking about a friend of mine's script today and I said, damn, shit, that script. I remember when I read it, damn, this is a great show. And I still never been made, and that was 10 years ago. And it happens, and then, but we started working on this 3+ years ago, as far as I can remember. I'd have to check the exact date, but it's been around, it's going on 3 years. I remember I was talking to somebody the other day and I was like, yo, it's going on 3 years now. Because it was 3 years ago, and I think it'll be 3 years in October when Mello first approached me and asked me that I want to pitch on this.
The fruits of your labor are about to flourish.
3 years later, and it is well worth every minute of it. So please pick it up. I can't wait for it to be out and everybody, and then I can really fucking talk about it. I've barely even been able to tell anybody anything about it because I didn't want to spoil all the story that we have in it. So it's a beautiful space opera. I mean, it's about music. It's about blackness. It's about finding change in your life. It's about when you reach a point in your life and you feel like you're stuck in a point and you need to find a new way through life. It's about rediscovering the magic inside of you. It's about a lot of different things, man. I think it's a really beautiful book. And then, of course, it's got the art by fucking Tom Mandrake. First comic out art by Tom Mandrake.
Hey, what's up, internets and the fan fam? This is Tatiana King for ForAllNerds, and I want to thank you so much for listening and watching the ForAllNerds. Make sure you like and subscribe to us only on YouTube.